Welcome to the Metal Verbalizers podcast. We think that underground metal deserves far more appreciation because there are a lot of hard-working musicians and great music to be found in underground metal. We think this should be supported and appreciated, which is why we started this podcast. We also want to share the great underground music with you listening. In this episode, we'll sit down and talk with Daniel of the band Thrasherwolf about the band's recent single GBH, as well as the upcoming full-length album titled Inside the Sickened Mind, which will be available on the 4th of October. I am Johan Verbalizer, together with Erik Verbalizer, and in this episode we will talk to Daniel of Thrasherwolf. We have talked about Thrasherwolf several times before, but if someone hasn't heard that yet and needs a little reminder, you can start by introducing yourself and the band a little bit. Also, if there's anything else that you would like to say before we start.
Knowles, guys, good guys. Thank you guys so much for having me on. It's really great to be back. I mean, the last thing we did was the Thrasherwolf and Hell-Affected Tour stories, which was amazing. But
still to this day, one of the best episodes or most fun episodes to record it.
It was one of the funnest things I've ever said, really. Honestly, that North Welsh story will live on with me for and until the day I go. Trust me.
Everything from coleslaw to van wankers.
Van wankers was brilliant. The coleslaw will always remain a special moment.
Yeah, that's kind of become a classic one.
I love it.
All right, no problem. We could start by talking about GBH a little bit. For example, we could start by talking about the title. What does GBH mean? And
so GBH was one of the songs that I created as a concept for mental extremes, which is what Inside the Sickened Mind as a whole album is kind of about. Difficult things that maybe it's a bit difficult to put words to. Things like PTSD in one of the songs in the album as well. That's obviously something that's a bit difficult for people to talk about. So we'll just make a song for it instead and help people understand that way. GBH looks at violence in the human instinct and treats it almost like it's like a person of its own, like it's got a consciousness of its own, like human beings as a race have it within themselves to cause violence and conflict. We just suppress it because of modern life and the fact that modern life deems that we must. But of course, bigger wars do happen, so that slips maybe. But it takes the narrative of a man who has been oppressed to the point of breaking. He can no longer take it anymore, and he's forced to tap into that inherent inner violence, which has been suppressed in him for so long, and it just explores violence in its entirety. I suppose that's why it's called gratuitous bodily harm as opposed to anything that's grievous. Just all about violence.
Yeah, because I was gonna kind of follow up on the full title, that it seems like it's kind of playing on that grievous bodily harm.
Yeah, it is pretty. It's playing on that sort of the thing for like GBH anyway. But we wanted to put gratuitous bodily harm in brackets next to it. Just to make it clear that we weren't exactly, copying any sort of title, because everyone knows about grievous bodily harm. That's everywhere. Gratuitous bodily harm. That's something no one's ever heard of before. So just sort of like stick it on there. People will love that. It's new. It's fresh. Whenever you type gratuitous bodily harm into Google, it will come up with our song.
Awesome.
Yeah, that makes sense to me. Something else that I've been kind of like thinking about when it comes to GBH, what was there like a specific reason why you chose GBH as the single for the upcoming album?
I think it's because it's perhaps one of the strongest songs that I personally have ever written. Because when it comes to Thrasherwolf's writing process, I write the songs in their most basic foundation. It's all in the head. I get the riff sorted. I get the lyrics written. I get the tabs all written out. I will then make guides for these songs, send them off to the rest of my guys, and they will then in turn pick it apart, claw apart it. It will say what they don't like and what they do like, and it was just decided amongst us that GBH was just one of those top rate songs that might be one of my best, so to speak. We'd been playing it live actually for a good year now, maybe a year and a half as well. And it's one of those catchy sing-along songs. It's just heavy, no nonsense, all grit. Yeah. And people just absolutely vibe with it so much that even before people had ever heard of it, by the time the chorus came along for like the second time, people were chanting, "Big Edge."
That sounds awesome.
It was like Bruce Dickinson does when he does the whole Fear of the Dark. He's like, "Fear of the dark, sing it." And the entire
yeah.
I was doing the same thing for GBH. It's like, "Gratuitous bodily harm, sing it." And you'd hear the entire crowd just going, yeah. And I thought that level of interaction, if it hits that well during a live performance, imagine how well it'll hit when the actual song comes out. So we thought, you know what, it's a flagship song. Like the Vortex or 1,000 Eyes for us right now is, it just hits differently.
Must be such a good feeling when you get that like answer from the crowd.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you about because I knew that you had been playing this song for quite a while now live. To kind of like ask about the response from it, like in a live setting, like during live shows, because it definitely has that type of kind of sing-along friendly chorus. So I could totally see how it would work really well.
I feel like sometimes thrash does need a bit of that sort of really old school, almost quite catchy nature about it. I mean, Vermilion Steel had its, I'd say, catchy bits. That sort of chorus, it's quite it's jumpy. It's almost folky when you do it like that. That sort of
I can see that.
It's catchy, and I feel like when people are being too technical, maybe sometimes it pushes people away from it because there's just not that sort of musical friendliness for it. But I'm no stranger to to songs that invite people to interact with it, and GBH's chorus especially is one of those like really catchy, really memorable riffs that it's inviting. People love it, and it's just special, really. I'm amazed. I'm sad that I'll never be able to write GBH again or bring it out because it's now already out.
Yeah. So, well, you never know. You never know. But I think that's actually to some extent what I liked with the song, and what caught my attention with the song is that like chanting, catching chorus, and it's almost going into some swing metal to an extent with that main riff.
It's quite groove thrash.
Yeah,
I guess you could possibly say. It's not something I usually touch upon quite a lot. I guess you could say Good Old Fashioned Violence on the first album had that sort of groove thrash quality to it. And as you guys know, when we write an album or something like that, we like to have variety in what we do. So we have the longer, more technical ones. We have the giant epics for the title tracks. We have the ballads, and we have that essence of really catchy groove thrash as well. So we like to make sure that every single song has its place in the album, and someone's going to walk away from that album thinking, yeah, even if that one was crap, I really loved that one.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what I like with metal, when you really get that groove. Because to take a band as an example that is more my speed, which is AC/DC, which is like gods in my household.
I love AC/DC.
They get to hear that, oh, it's all about easy chords and all of these, it's easy grips, but it's not about the chords and like the riffs that are easy. It's all about the groove. To get a groove, you might have just an A chord through the whole song, but it's just straight. It's gonna be boring as fuck. But if you get that groove, it's gonna be awesome.
I feel like Rotting Christ actually have the same sort of thing going on for them. Like I saw them play at Bloodstock when I went there last, and like one of the songs was literally the same chord going through it, but the way the musicians were like progressing through everything else, it was just catchy. You felt like you wanted to jump up and down for it, and you was going like really, really ham for it, because although it was simple, it was so enticing. The groove was just there.
Yeah. I guess it kind of comes to the idea of like less is more, almost.
Yeah, I mean, some musicians like arpeggiate the same chord but different positions on the neck and call it a solo. So I mean,
that's a good point, actually. I've never tried that. I might actually try it myself, to be honest.
Me neither. But I mean, it works.
That's true. Yep. It's true. I'll give it a go. Never know.
But yeah, I usually use bands like, when it comes to that subject, I usually use bands like Ramones, for example. Like, you know, that kind of approach that you're kind of like trying to be as simplistic as possible instead of the opposite, and kind of become successful that way instead. So like it works very well there, like in that way as well.
Yeah, it totally does. I feel like so many bands are trying so hard to be technical now. Sometimes it's just nice to have something simple and easy to latch onto. Really, I feel like just like 1,000 Eyes was quite simple. It was literally 3 chords. 1,000 Eyes, and that caught on like nobody else's business.
Yeah, 1,000 Eyes.
I mean, Back in Black is like 3 chords basically, and it became one of the biggest rock songs since history. So why not?
It's a banger. It's a fucking banger.
Why have 1,000 chords if you don't need it?
Exactly. It's just excessive.
It's like Polyphia is like math metal or math music. It's pointless.
Right, we're going to play the note that we add these 2 subtractions up to, and we've got this equation, and we'll divide that by 3, and that's going to be the tempo that we made the song to, and then blah, 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 blah. Couldn't be dealing with that.
Yeah, like playing in 32/64 and then switch to 6/8, and then we do some 3/4, and then
you have to think about the effect that's going to have on the audience when they're listening to it as well.
Everybody's going to start dancing and banging, like, what is going on? What is happening? It's not going to work.
Oh, wait, now it's slower. Okay. One again.
4/4.
Would be a pretty fun mosh pit to witness.
An epileptic mosh pit.
Everybody just stops mid moshing. Like, what the fuck?
What the hell's happening here?
Oh my god.
But yeah, one thing that I really liked with GBH, and I mean, something that I really enjoyed with Thrasherwolf in general, is the kind of like mix between, you have the like really heavy like thrashy riffs, but you also kind of mix it together with very like clear melodies, which gives it a really great sound to me. That's something that tends to make it very memorable as well.
That's something I've always incorporated into a lot of the songs that I write. I think melody is an extremely important part of music in general. Looking as far back as, say, classical music, there was always some sort of melody, some sort of lead section going on that was memorable, that caught you emotionally in some sort of way. And I feel like classical music and metal music are so similar in that sort of feel. So in that sort of essence, when it comes to writing, I like to make sure there are melodies within the heaviness, because I know what a metalhead will like when I'm writing a song. I know what a metalhead will like, but I've also got to think about the future, about branching out. I've got to think about what's gonna sound good to people who maybe aren't as familiar with metal, who might want to delve in a bit. You know, I wanna capture as much of an audience as possible. As a musician, it will be beneficial to me, to my band, and to the entire Thrasherwolf pack as a whole.
Yeah. You want to teach people the way of thrash metal.
Always.
Thrash metal the open way, the inviting way.
Yeah.
Come on here, my young Padawan.
Russia one.
Yeah, right. That's a good one.
Yeah, thrash clear, get used to it.
Yeah. But about the album, are we gonna see more singles from the album, or are we gonna stay with this one?
We do have another single coming out on September the 20th.
Nice.
I've yet to unveil the artwork, but I'm just saying it now. It's one of the best pieces of artwork we've ever had for Thrasherwolf ever.
Oh, really?
Made by the same guy who did the 1,000 Eyes artwork.
Right.
You know, an absolutely fantastic piece. He's got a beautiful style to him.
Yeah.
I can only tell you the name of the piece right now, and it's called Frank in a Tank. Yeah. It's gonna be.
That definitely sounds interesting.
It's gonna be gorgeous.
It does paint a picture. So I mean,
the single is going to be called "Final Act of Aggression," and again, it's one that we've actually been playing for a good 3 to 4 months already. It's been our closing song.
Yeah.
Okay,
cool.
But when it comes to making pits and making walls of death, this is one hell of, I'd say, a classic, almost creator-esque type song. That I'd say it's the closest we've sounded to Creator ever. I maybe it's like a homage to Creator, because I adore Millie and Creator, and they're my favorite band on the entire planet. So I'll make no secret of saying it is a bit of a homage. It's a bit of me saying, "Look, Creator, I adore you. Look what I can do," sort of thing. But yeah, it's had an extremely positive reception at any gig we played, and I think it's going to be old school enough that people are going to really latch on to the. I think one of the reviews said razor sharp riffs. So good luck with that one.
Well, it sounds intriguing.
Yeah, as I say, it's coming out on September the 20th. People need to look out for that, because we'll be promoting it exactly the same way as we did with GBH. We're going to have a special lyric video set up on our YouTube channel.
Awesome.
Ready for people to view for that. It's about 5 minutes long. It's going to be worth your time. It's a really wicked music lyric video done by a true professional of the arts.
Sounds great. I think 5 minutes is pretty decent length of a song, because it's not gonna be like too long, but it's enough time where you can have enough to you got enough room to do some interesting stuff and have some different parts in the song to make it feel like almost 2 songs, but it's not like that No More Tears level of like extreme length.
Yeah, no, I completely agree with that one. It's a good length, especially for a Thrasherwolf song. As people know, I am quite fond of writing longer songs. Especially We Are Revolution, 11.5 minutes. Yeah. That's always going to be a special one for me. I think We Are Revolution, the actual title track for that, was more of less of a statement to anyone we wanted to make a fan. It was more a statement to the reviewers and the press to say, look what we can do here. We can put an 11.5 minute long song on our first album if we want to. We've got balls, you know.
Yeah.
So we're worth checking out.
I mean, songs like Blood Moon is like over 9 minutes, I believe.
Yeah, absolutely is. I mean, that's also one of the reasons why we don't play it live, because it's like 9 minutes long. I'm trying to get the guys to agree to play an abridged version of Blood Moon at some point soon, because when we did used to play it, it went down super well. That sort of proto melodic thrash thing that Blood Moon does with the sort of the intro and the stuff that happens there. They're warming round to it, so I'll get it happening at one point. But we've got to focus on the second album now, so that's gone out the window a little bit.
Yeah, I can imagine. Because that's kind of like, with Halloween, for example. Like, Keeper of the Seven Keys is like, I don't even remember. It's like over 30 minutes, I believe. Yeah, as well. Something like that. But when they play it live, I believe that they're not playing the entire thing, but they're like playing parts of it.
Yeah,
I don't remember if they play it even as a medley of some sort, even.
Possibly. I mean, all I know is that playing the 30-minute song live is going to kill you. Halloween aside, the fact that they're amazing musicians and they're absolute like masters of their genre, a 30-minute song is going to like destroy you in the end. And they're not getting any younger as well, so that is going to absolutely destroy them.
Yeah, like you spit out your vocal cords after the song.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, the vocal cords and his dentures.
Because we saw him live in 2015. I know that they played it, but I don't remember if they played it as a medley or if they just played a shortened down version of it. But I know that they did not play the full thing, at least. So I mean, it could be possible for you guys to do something similar like that as well.
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely. Weird. I think with Blood Moon, it's as easy enough as playing the intro, taking out like 3 minutes, and starting it from the thrashier bit when the lyrics come in. I think that'll sort it out good and proper, and then we can just shred it on from there. We'll turn it down from about 9 minutes to about 6 minutes, and that's good enough for me.
Yeah. I mean, that's kind of getting close to the 5-minute mark as well that we talked about.
Yeah, near enough, man. But I don't want to hurt myself taking more minutes away from Blood Moon. That's going to be a challenge.
I guess that between 4 and 6 minutes is like the most common in metal, at least for length in song.
I'd say so. I like to dip just slightly outside of that comfort zone, so to speak. The two long songs on the second album, Scream Till Death, which is 6.5 minutes, and the title track, Inside the Sick of Mind, which is 7.5 minutes. Yeah. But I say even those longer songs are at least sensibly timed and are interesting enough all the way through, especially in terms of structure and variety of riffs and sections, that people will not get bored. That I can promise you.
Yeah. That can be hard sometimes to make it be interesting for such a long time. But I guess that No More Tears by Ozzy Osbourne is such a good example as well. You feel like it's like 3 songs in one, pretty much.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I always feel that if you're going to do like a title track or something of that length, then it's usually best to make it a story song, because stories hook people. And if your music matches the story that you're telling, then people are going to want to know what the ending is. And so they'll stick from beginning to the very end.
I've really thought about it, but that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah,
it does. That's what I did with again, the title track for the first album as well. It was the story of a man oppressed beyond belief who who rose up with his brothers and his sisters and the people he worked with and the people he loved to fight against the fascist regime. And the revolution got bigger and bigger, and the song eventually ends with him with an army by his side about to attack a government house.
Yeah,
it works.
Yeah,
it does, for sure.
And the interesting thing about that song is whenever I ever play it to people, or I hear it, or say we've played it in rehearsal just as like a warm-up song, I don't know, 11.5 minutes warm-up. How does that work? Trust me, it works. It never feels like it's an 11.5 minute long song. It flies by, which is quite a rare thing for a long song to do, I feel.
Yeah,
I think that's great. If you feel like it flies by, then you really got that song that is interesting all the way through, and you just wanted to continue.
that's a great sign for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely a great sign for sure. It was like that when I was writing it as well. It's just non-stop. I was like, oh yeah, okay, no, that's the end. Fuck, this is a great riff. I'll let it in the middle of this. Then I'll add that one on the end. Oh god damn, it's like 11.5 minutes long now. Oh fuck it, I'll just record it anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I remember that we talked about that in the original interview we did on the Mel Verbalizers. That like when we're talking about that kind of idea, like when do you know when a song is done? And then I kind of like mentioned the title track being like 11 minutes, which is like far longer than most of the other songs. Like, how did that happen?
Well, how do you know when a song is finished? I just flip a coin.
Yeah, that's definitely a way to decide.
Yeah, fuck it, why not?
Yeah, I just stop recording when I get tired in my picking hand. Like
exactly, yeah. When my special hand is done waving about, it's fine. I'll just end it there.
But then again, if I would live by that and go about the full on Hetfield mode like I do, like full on down picking, I would go like 30 seconds. Yep, done.
Yep, done. Sorry, man.
And then I got tomorrow. Carpal tunnel for like half a year. I don't know how he does it.
I don't know how he does it either. He's just a master of down picking. I think he's probably trained since he was like 8 or 9 or something, and just down picked his entire life.
The question is, does he even know himself?
He's been told often enough, I think.
Probably.
But
I mean, I don't understand how his right arm isn't like the size of the Incredible Hulk.
Yeah, Hetfield, what's your secret, man? You're the fastest down picker in the world. What's your secret?
No idea.
And I mean, it is the right hand as well. So I mean,
exactly. So wink, wink, nudge, nudge. There's got to be something in it.
Well, I don't know. When he get bored in the tour bus, who knows?
Yeah, who knows, man? The walls of that tour bus must look like a snow globe.
If that's the case, if that's the reason to why his picking is so fast and like his endurance is so good, then I want the walls to be as thick as possible. For sure. But yeah, we have gone through quite a lot. You want to have any more questions?
Yeah. I mean, we could. We have about like 8 minutes until the meeting needs to be changed. But I mean, we could talk about you made a music video for GBH as well. You want to talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, it's our first official music video. It was perhaps one of the funnest things we ever had to do so far as a band. We've never felt so professional as when that final edit came back. Because we toyed around with doing music videos for ages, but we just never got the chance, knew the right people to do it. And we met Shark Room Productions, who were the guys who took us up when they did it. And it's 2 people, 2 cameras, some lighting, and they work absolute magic with what they have. We rented out a studio up in Milton Keynes, I think, and we just walked in the studio, and in the space of, I'd say, 6 hours, the entire video had been shot. We'd had like a photo shoot done as well. It was just a really damn good experience. Like, you actually see, we made sure to get some shots of Zach's new drum kit as well, where he's got the skins of the Thrasherwolf logo and the new Frank from the Inside the Sicker Mine artwork on it as well. But yeah, one of the things we're really trying to push now, because we've never really looked at YouTube very much. It's really been sort of Instagram, Facebook, and Spotify for us, really. And I feel like there are a couple of platforms that we need to start building up on again. It'd been handy if someone was to able actually to take over the YouTube channel and the Twitter channel, Twitter X. Let's face it, it's still Twitter. Everyone understands.
yeah. X.
If someone could
probably
handle
just
those two, yeah, yeah. If I could get someone like a crew or something to handle the Twitter and the YouTube channel for us as well, it'd be really damn handy, because it's difficult as one single guy to juggle so many different social media pages, and we've only just started our TikTok as well, which went live a few months ago. That's got over 1,000 people on it now, which I'm personally very happy about.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's difficult managing all these social pages as one guy. So I'd like one day to set up a crew of people who know what they're doing on each platform and just say, look, smash this shit. I'll send you stuff to post. Just get posting and make sure everything. But yeah, the music video was something we really wanted to do for a long time, and I'm really glad we actually managed to do it now as well. And it's given us a flair for it. We've seen how awesome it actually looks, and so we I think we've got a hunger for it now, and we're going to want to do more music videos.
Sounds awesome.
Yeah, because I was gonna ask that as well. Like, are you I know you mentioned the lyric video earlier, but are you planning on doing any more like music videos for any of the other songs on the upcoming album?
We possibly might do something for album 2, but then it might be wise for us to save our money and make sure we have a really damn good music video set up for album 3 as well, or maybe one for a future single, possibly. But it's something I'll be talking to the guys about, because we've got a flair for the music videos now, and we really adore doing it. I mean, the GBH video has really got some good traction. It's got nearly 1,000 views already after just a week, and all the comments are massively supportive. Over 40 of them, I think, and there's tons of likes on there as well. And I'm just over the moon that people are enjoying it, and people are happy with the view, like the video itself as well. Just over the moon and really happy with it.
Yeah, I mean, it's a great song, so I'm not surprised.
Yeah, we had to make a radio edit for the music video, though, just because it's that much easier to film for us.
Yeah.
But I think we can be forgiven the radio edit, considering bands like Dimmu Borgir do it as well.
Yeah. But yeah, I was thinking about as well, like, do you have any plans for like touring and stuff like that for promoting the album?
Oh, we absolutely do. We have an album launch show for starters at the Dev in Camden, which is free entry. That's a big plus. Free entry. That's happening on October 4th, when the album actually releases. It's had a lot of hype already, so we're expecting a very decent turnout for that. The excitement has been off the charts, really. And then next year we will be doing an Inside the Sicken Mind tour, or Inside the Sicken tour, as we like to call it, which I think will be quite a cool name for it. We'll be going all over the UK, hopefully Scotland, Ireland, and Wales as well. And I think like next year we really want to start hitting places like Europe and all that sort of thing, because we have the connections over there. We just need to make sure it actually happens, and we're all committed enough to go over there, which I personally think we are. We're ready, we're committed. It's just about getting it all booked and getting over there.
Like Wacken next summer. Why not? That would be awesome.
I think the walls of this room will probably turn extremely white if Wacken wants us to play. Trust me on that one.
Yeah, but I mean, I think that would be highly possible to
I'd like
manage.
To think it's possible. Like festivals like Bloodstock, Wacken,
for sure.
One day even Hellfest. I like to think that the more we continue, the more we start getting a name for ourselves, the more the pack grows, and it's clear to see even from the socials that the pack is growing really damn huge all over the planet, and it's really endearing to see that the further we grow, the more we'll get taken on by all these different festivals and these sort of bigger names and bigger companies as well. I have every faith in us as a band that I think we'll be able to do it.
Yeah, because festivals, I think at least, are a great way to discover new bands that you haven't heard. And as far as I know, festivals are usually quite happy to invite smaller bands as well to like fill out the like, what you would call it. Well, to fill out the slots in the festival. But yeah, we were talking about the festivals and such. So I think that we should definitely get Thrasherwolf into some of the other festivals out in Europe.
I would love that to happen. I've got a few email addresses, a few possible contacts for some European festivals, and I'm gonna be getting our management to smash over some details for us. So hopefully we'll be able to, play things like, Brutal Assault, one I've always wanted to play.
Yeah.
It'd be a massive one if we were to ever get that.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Or like Obscene Extreme, that's also a classic one.
Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe more than got him.
I'll be heavy enough for Obscene Extreme. I don't know.
Let's get you guys to Månegarm. That's in our hometown.
Yeah, right.
Okay, I'll be very happy with that.
A very small scale festival, but you were there like a week ago.
Yeah, last weekend.
Nice. Yeah, send the details for that over. We'd be very happy to head on over there, get some thrash going.
Yeah. The cold north of Sweden. well, north of Europe at least.
Yeah, but it's a really, really great festival. It's like you're saying, it's quite small in size, relatively speaking, but you have everything that you need at a festival, so it's kind of like small scale, which can be like a positive thing.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be like massive festival either.
Yeah, exactly, man. I mean, sometimes it's small scale, big impact.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah,
sometimes,
exactly.
Absolutely. And Månegarm, isn't that kind of a niche festival for the more like extreme type of music?
I mean, not necessarily.
I've sort of understand it as a festival for more like thrash metal and that kind of music.
I mean, it's Månegarm. They're more like I'm not even sure how you would exactly describe it. It's like the festival is a little bit like death metal, but it also had that kind of like Viking, almost folk stuff. But then it's like a band like Exorcist, for example, Swedish death metal band. They're pretty like very inspired by the old like chainsaw Swedish death metal stuff. So like that's kind of like a different thing as well. So it's not niche as like only that style, but it tends to kind of go for those kind of like folk inspired metal.
Yeah. And then again, the venue is quite awesome as well. It's in an old like industrial museum.
Yeah.
It's quite a cool venue as well.
Yeah, it's a cool place.
We fit right in there. I think we could.
Yeah, let's get you guys over here next year.
Yeah, man.
Let's go.
I would fucking love that. Honestly, seriously, I reckon we fit right in. Deliver a bit of old school British thrash. I think we would.
Yeah,
that's the way to go.
We create an impact, I think.
Yeah,
I think so too.
It was a bad timing that when we were when me and Johan were in London that we couldn't like get a show with you guys. That would have been fucking awesome.
Yeah.
That'd have been freaking awesome, honestly.
Yeah.
Next time your visits so that you're here when we're playing London the next time.
For sure. We have to. I mean, you can't be in London and not go see a Thrasherwolf concert.
Absolutely. It's a must. It's a must.
Like when you go to London, you need Thrasherwolf and beer.
Yeah.
That sounds like a good combo to me.
Thrasherwolf, overpriced beer, yeah.
Yeah, that sounds awesome. Johan, do you have any more questions about the single or the album?
I'm not sure. I mean, I guess you, Daniel, like if you wanna kind of like pitch the album, and like kind of if you want to say something about like to encourage people to really check it out.
Yeah, absolutely. We've been working for a damn long time on this second album, as a lot of people probably know. And the reason for that being, of course, that when the original album started being recorded, something had happened during that tour where we'd found ourselves as only half a band. So it was literally just me and Jack left. And so it fell to us not only to recruit two new members, but to teach the new members the old stuff and get them to learn the new stuff, ready for recording it. And it took up a lot of 2022 and 2023. So it was only roughly during the start of 2024 when we really started recording this album again. We're really proud of the result. It sounds extremely down to earth, no bells or whistles, it's just pure grit, pure thrash metal in the old school vein of, say, old school Exodus and old school Creator, all those sorts of things you associate with old school thrash. It's going to be released on October the 4th. It's Inside the Sickened Mind, 8 tracks of absolute pure filth. And it's going to be an amazing experience, and we sincerely hope that everyone enjoys every single song on the album. Please, everyone, go check out our socials: Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, the TikTok. Visit our website for anything you will possibly need, for upcoming shows, for merchandise. And please stream or buy the songs on either Spotify or Apple Music or Deezer or Amazon Music or wherever you want to find it. We'll also have physicals available for purchase as well. And the little thing that we haven't told people is we've got a reissue of the first album out now as well. We're not pushing quite as much because we want to keep the attention on the second album. But when there's a bit of time free, this will be the only chance that anyone will ever have to own 1,000 Eyes physically on disc. That's also something people may want to. Yeah, it's also something people may want to have a think about grabbing for themselves as well. If they want our entire discography, they've got the first album, 1,000 Eyes, and the second album on disc now as well. So buy those two together, and you'll have the entire Thrasherwolf discography until album 3 comes out. So please check us out and help grow the pack. Share with your friends, and thank you all very, very much.
Yeah. And for you that watch this on YouTube, down in the comments, there are going to be links for the socials for Thrasherwolf. So, hey, there are no excuses.
Exactly. No excuses whatsoever.
Get in there.
Yeah, get in there.
Yeah, but I mean, I was obviously very, very excited for GBH. And, you know, when I listened to it the first time when it was released, like my excitement for the upcoming album just flew to the roof.
Yeah,
it became even higher.
That's honestly, that makes my day to hear. Seriously, whenever I hear that, I'm just that happy. Yeah. You know, it makes me realize how worthwhile it is, and just, you know, it makes me excited to hear what everyone else thinks as well. You know,
definitely.
The reviews have already been quite positive. We had that one review we posted on the Facebook page that said that GBH was such a Well, in fact, the entire album, it was a full album review, said that the entire album was just non-stop mosh from start to finish. He said whether he's at work, grocery shopping, or at his nan's funeral, he'll be moshing because of that rhythm. So,
like start moshing in aisle 3 in the store.
Yeah, just exactly. Yeah. Just like the wake of a funeral, just everyone moshing around the coffin.
Like start moshing around the coffee and tea and honey and all of that.
Yeah.
Throwing a fucking honey can in the head of somebody.
Circle pit around the dead body.
Yeah, but when you have done the tour for the album, we're gonna have to do another tour stories.
Oh yeah, there will be
for sure
tour stories happening. I mean, we've never had a tour where something strange hasn't happened. So trust me, there will be stories.
There has happened a lot of things since the last one already.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you have any stories you could tease us with right now?
Well, there was the time we got the van stuck in a multi-story car park at 2:00 in the morning. That van had all our gear in it. It had our sleeping gear in it. It had everything, all just stuck in a car park. And I remember it was 3 o'clock in the morning. Everyone had gone home or something, and we'd realized, oh wait, shit, they've actually locked this multi-story car park up. We're calling the numbers up and there's no one picking up whatsoever. And so we just got, there's no way to drive home. We just got the van stuck in like on floor 6 of this car park. And we're like, how the fuck are we going to get out of here now? For like a good hour and a half even to get out of there. But that wasn't even like the beginning of it. Jesus Christ. So yeah, little teaser. There's going to be a lot of shit like that.
Oh God. Well, when you're on like floor 6, you can't like really Fast and Furious it either.
Yeah, you can't just drive off the edge and hope you're going to be okay. So right, just drive onto the roof of that nearby building, get down that ramp. That's at a slight angle. We should be able to veer off that. Shoot the rocket over there to create a landslide of rubble, and we'll just shoot down the M11. Yeah, we'll be fine.
For some reason, when we go about Thrasherwolf, it seems to always be a story about a van.
Yeah, there is always some sort of van thing going on, isn't there? You had a van wanker, then you had the van in the car park. Lord knows what kind of van's going to happen this time.
Oh, okay. Especially if you go out in Europe. Start driving on the other side of the road as well.
Oh, God, don't even talk about that.
Tired after a show and you have to drive on the other side of the road.
Sorry, we didn't mean that. Wait, wrong side of the road. Sorry. Okay, right, I'll get over this side of the road. Okay, right, cool.
But that fucks with your head so much. I realized that when we were in London as well. I didn't think it would be that bad. But it messes with your head so much.
It does mess with your head. You have to invert everything you knew about driving. Turn it the other way around.
Luckily, we was not put behind the wheel of a car. Because that would have been just no.
Yeah.
But then again, you guys use miles an hour, right, in the cars?
Yeah, we have miles an hour, which makes it a little easier, I feel.
No.
Yes.
not for us. Not for us.
Kilometers an hour it's just more. The number just grows. And you're like, if I was to drive from here to say like Liam's house in Derby, it'd say what, like 132 miles. If you put that in kilometers per hour, you literally, it's gone up to about 280. You feel like there's no point even going up there.
Yeah, and then you get over here and see like 100 on the sign, and like, well, that's 60. It started to go quite fast. Why is that car behind us flashing his lights?
Right, Jack, you're driving now. I'm napping.
Yeah, that was definitely something like, because your brain is kind of like set on auto mode with that stuff. So, like you're expecting the cars to come from one way, but they're coming from the other.
Which is why when you're heading down the motorway and you see everything coming towards you, Something is really wrong.
Yeah, because and then like downtown London, like around Big Ben and all of that stuff, where we had to be at some point. It's total chaos.
Yeah, tell me about it.
There are like
Honestly,
crossroads that are 6-way and 7 ways, and
yeah.
Okay,
Imagine driving through that.
No, thank you. I thought
Honestly,
Stockholm was bad.
One of my first ever long drives involved driving through the center of London at rush hour. It was scary. It was very scary. Honestly, to get through London in rush hour, you're looking at a good 3.5 hours of non-stop driving at 20 miles per hour.
Well, that kind of sounds like Stockholm, honestly.
It's just ridiculous, honestly.
E4 Stockholm is pretty much as bad. And that's like a proper motorway.
You know, we'll be the judge of that when we get over there. London is by far one of the worst cities I've ever driven in.
Yeah.
You know what? That's only overtaken by the fact that I think Birmingham is perhaps a bit worse than London. But only for one reason. It's worse than London for only one reason. And that's because every single lane is a bus lane.
Oh,
really?
All right.
Every single lane is a bus lane. There's an entire bridge in Birmingham that the sat-nav tells you to go over. And literally every single lane on that bridge says bus lane. So you can't go over it at all. You spend your time going round the ring road in the center of Birmingham wondering where the hell you get out. Instead, you have to go round the back streets, go all the way around the other side of Birmingham and up the motorway through it. And it's like, who designed this city?
I guess that's why you have a taxi sign in the glove box.
Yeah, this is why we have a tow us to our destination sign on our back window.
Obviously, bus driver designed it.
Yeah, exactly. The bus driver designed it. You know what? If the bus driver wants to tow us to our destination, even fucking better.
Like, yes, please.
I actually did not know that.
Yeah, it's a special thing.
Go to London again, but not Birmingham.
Yeah, if you want a lot, if you want like fines or tickets for going down bus lanes when you're not supposed to, go to Birmingham.
Oh God,
there's a lot of good things in Birmingham, but the bus lanes are not one of them.
And that was something that I talked about when I did one of my editing lives, when I edit our show, because I've started to live stream on Instagram when I do edit our show, and then I talked with Bare Knuckle Brawls and another podcast that I had in, and we talked about like nowadays fans doesn't even get free drinks and such when they play. That sucks.
Sometimes we actually are quite lucky enough that we do get paid for every show.
Yeah.
So there are times where we will get free drinks at certain shows as well. So I'd say we are quite lucky in that regard. So yeah,
I guess Britain is better if you're gonna play metal.
Yeah, metal bands do get a little bit more looked after, maybe. Possibly, maybe.
Because Bare Knuckle, they are from, I think it was Minnesota, USA.
Yeah, USA.
Oh yeah, it's got to be tough in the USA for bands to be there.
Have you guys any plans to go over there to play?
Yeah, we'd love to go over to the USA to play. We have quite a few bands in the United States. The pack is growing quite considerably out there. Some in Chicago, some in Detroit, I think. But yeah, we'd really love to go over there and visit the home of thrash metal in general.
Yeah,
you know, maybe play a few shows in the Bay Area.
That would be cool.
See how we measure up to the greats.
Yeah,
pretty much the mecca of thrash.
Exactly.
Yeah,
man.
I mean, it pretty much is. I can imagine it's like pretty much more or less every thrash band's dream to play in the Bay Area at some
Basically,
point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, there are a lot of smaller bands at a similar size as Thrasherwolf over in US. So I mean, if you guys like team up with some bands over there, maybe it's possible to do it sooner than you think.
I mean, if we have the money to do so, then yeah, we definitely will. Because that's another thing we sort of have to think about when it comes to playing to other countries with things just financial stuff, logistics. With Jack being a rocket engineer, can he get the time off? That's another thing that we have to think about.
The Brian May of thrash.
Basically, he is like a proper genius. This guy, he's the Jimmy Neutron of thrash metal.
But yeah, I see the time for the meeting. The time flies when you have such a good time. So, how about we get you a few final words for the episode?
Yeah, absolutely. Guys, thank you so much for having me on. It's been an absolute pleasure, as always.
Likewise.
You know how much we love you guys. Seriously, you've been amazing supporters of ours from the very beginning. You've always been properly amazing. Everybody should watch this podcast, okay? Because these guys are freaking amazing, and we love Metal Verbalizers from the bottom of our hearts. Please, everyone, listen to Inside the Sick of Mind when it comes out. View our socials, stream the music, buy it if you fancy it. Look at the www.thrasherwolf.com for all your Thrasherwolf needs. Thank you very much, guys, again.
Yeah.
And I'll be seeing you very soon.
Thank you very much.
Likewise.
It has been an absolute blast to have you on again.
Legends. Love you guys.
Yeah. Thank you very much.